This is Women Take the Wheel.
Sit down, strap in, and turn on all you've got.
Nikki Clark is taking you behind the scenes.
You're ready to win.
Let me tell you, these cars, they get up and go pretty good.
Introducing you to women drivers, crew members, and fans of the racing world. Plus, Nikki is bringing you the latest racing news in Indiana and beyond.
We're going to bring it to you from the tower as they get ready to pull into the beam.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
All right, strap yourselves in.
Getting off the track and in your ears. This is Women Take the Wheel.
Come on, baby.
With your host,
Here we go.
Nikki Clark.
Hi, I'm Nikki Clark, your host for Women Take the Wheel here on the All Indiana Podcast Network. And on this episode, I'm talking with Meyer the two-time NHRA top alcohol dragster world champion. She's retired from driving and taking on a new role. Well, besides mom-to-be, she's also a teacher and coach. How she's helping drivers to excel at social media and land sponsorships. Stay tuned.
Your day moves fast. Your news should too. That's why there's a new and improved Wish TV app bringing you more local news, breaking alerts, live streaming, weather forecasts, radar, and Indiana sports all in one place. Customize your news feed to see the stories that matter most to you and get the information you need when you need it. Download the new and improved Wish TV app today on iOS or Android and take News 8 with you everywhere.
And welcome to Women Take the Wheel. And today I have on Meyer. Megan, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me on, Nikki. And I just got to say, your intro is so badass. I love that. That's my favorite podcast intro.
Thank you so much. A lot of that goes to my boss, Eric Tobias. He came up with that. And I'm like, the first time he played it for me, I'm like, oh my God, you make me sound so cool. And I'm not.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's very exciting. It's perfect for you.
Well, thank you so much. And you have so much going on. So we have a lot to talk about with you. And just I'll start off with a little fun bit is that I've known Megan for a really long time because I used to live in Kansas City area. And I know my brother used to keep his truck and trailer at your shop. And then Megan actually interned at a company I used to work for, Ford Sports Marketing. So I remember that. That was so much fun. I knew back then, I'm like, this girl's going to do good stuff.
Yeah, that's so funny. It seems like such a long time ago when we were at Ford Sports Marketing. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy, like, to look back to see how long we've known each other and how much you have helped me out and with our team out from back in those days. And now to today. I mean, you were one of the first women that I really looked up to be honest,
really?
That was doing a lot with the marketing and media side of it, because there wasn't really, back then, it was just kind of getting started.
Yeah, thank you. And I owe a lot of that, too, to Ryan Haas and Brian Skirtle and Jeff Froster and them over there, because I was a fan of the sport, but until you work in marketing and stuff like that and you learn all the sponsor stuff and that, you really, and that's what you're helping people with too, is you don't understand, until you work on the business side of it, how much goes into it, what you need to do. So, and then I took you on like one of your first media tours too, didn't I, when we went over to Topeka?
Yes, you did. Yeah, when I was making my little debut for Top Alcohol Dragster, and we did like a radio interview and TV and all that. So,
that was so much fun.
That was awesome.
Yes, and now look where you are now, two-time champion. My goodness. So now tell me now when I always like to get the perspective from you. So when did you decide, I know your dad's a motorsport and your whole family's motorsport. So when did you first say, Dad, I want to drive one of these things?
I don't remember exactly how old I was, but I was 10 years old when I got my first junior dragster. And so we waited for my little sister, Rachel, to be 8, because back then the minimum age was 8 years old. And so we waited till she was 8. I was 10. We got a pair of junior dragsters from some brothers in the Kansas City area that were, they were teenagers. They were getting out of it. And it was just like the perfect pair of cars to get started with. Nothing fancy at all. We picked them up on the back of a rollback tow truck and brought him home. And but yeah, you know, like you said, grew up watching my dad race. My sister and I grew up working on the cars while he drove, and my mom worked on the car as well. So it's just a whole family affair. Had the race shop in our backyard. So grew up around the whole sport of drag racing. And then I had some older cousins who were racing junior dragsters at that time. So being able to go to the track to watch them race and really learn what junior dragster racing was, you know, that really helped my sister and I make that decision of, yes, we wanted to get behind the wheel, and absolutely loved it. I remember my first race I got runner up in. Wow. And my second race I won, and I was just hooked from there.
Of course you won your first, you know, you won that quick. Of course you did. So then naturally you went into top alcohol because that's what your dad drove then? Or you did super comp first, correct?
Yes, I did super comp for 6 years. So that was, I actually did super comp and junior dragsters at the same time. So when I was 16 to 18, I did both of those. And that was crazy because I was by myself. So by the time I turned 16, got my driver's license, my dad pretty much like gave me the keys to the dually and the trailer and was like, here you go, because he's going racing. And he's like, I don't have time to take you racing anymore. So if you want to race, you've got to do it on your own. So that's what we did. And then around that same time too, got a super comp dragster. So I was running two completely different cars in the same weekend at the track in Kansas City. And then I transitioned out of junior dragsters when I turned 18, did super comp all throughout college, and then I started licensing for top alcohol dragster while I was in college because I knew I wanted to race top alcohol dragster, but my dad and I did have an agreement that I had to graduate from college first. So that way, you know, I had a degree if I needed it as a backup plan in case racing didn't work out for me. So graduated college and then jumped straight into driving full-time for NHRA top alcohol dragster.
Well, I want to bring up two fun things too about, because I love to bring up this stuff with you. Number one, when you were in college racing, you weren't just in college and racing. You were also interning in college and racing. And you were, what was the award? What, Student of the Year or Student Worker of the Year?
Yeah, Student Employee of the Year, which is kind of cool. So it was for the entire school. So I worked in my degree at college is in graphic design. And so then one of the summers I did an internship working with you. And then another summer I did like an internship working at a local print shop. But then I also got a job working for the school, so for the Department of Technology Education, which is like the STEM classes that you take in K through 12th grade. I was the graphic designer and event coordinator for that entire department, and they did one big, like really big recruiting event every year, which is really cool. Anyways, they nominated me for Student Employee of the Year for the school. I won that award, and then the school takes that and puts their nomination into the State of the Year award, and against all the other colleges, and I won that as well. And that's just so cool. But it just goes to show, like, the people that I worked with, they were just the best people. I absolutely loved my entire college experience, and I'd do it all over again if I could. So you weren't just driving and working, you were crushing it. You were just like, because everything you do your best, and I just love that. Okay. And I get my work ethic from my dad, so. And I can see that, yeah, your dad is nonstop. Well, and here's a fun thing with your dad too. If I remember right, you didn't know you were getting your top alcohol license. If I remember right, wasn't it kind of, you thought you were just doing some passes, isn't that correct, down in Gainesville? Well, we actually took it a very slow process to get the license. So it took about 3 years to actually do the licensing. So the first time was down in Gainesville, and I kind of thought that was going to, just one and done in one day, like we do typically with drivers. But my dad said, no, we're going to do as much as we can, but we're not going to actually do the paperwork to get a license through NHRA because I just wasn't ready yet.
Gotcha.
So like every year, like 2 or 3 times a year, we would test just whether it was like a Monday after a national event, or if we could like go up to the Topeka track and rent it out, or while they were doing a bracket race or something, just make some runs then. And so it wasn't until Gainesville, it was my senior year of college, so that would have been 2015. And that's when I officially got my license. And what's cool about it was I had Alexis DeJoria and Mia Tedesco sign off to complete the paperwork to officially get my license through NHRA. And Mia is now one of my best friends, and it's just so cool that she was there for me during that process.
Because I remember I was in the tower and he's like, yeah, Megan Meyer's license. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if she knows that. So that was so much fun watching you get your license. I was so happy for you. And another one, your first win. Tell me about your first win in Top Alcohol. I'm trying to remember right now, I may cut this out. Was it Charlotte? Was your first Top Alcohol win? Yeah, I was there for that one too.
Yes, you are right. Charlotte 2016, and I will never forget that day. It was incredible. So the race before that was Gainesville. So that was my very first national event, and we had runnered up, and we lost to Rich McPhillips in the finals just by a hair. And so then the next race was Charlotte, and Charlotte, for some reason, was a track that my dad never really had success at. And I think maybe it's because the fact that he was driving and crew chief at the same time, it's just too much for him to think about. He does so much better when he is outside of the car.
Oh, definitely.
So with me in the driver's seat, and we're just running one car that year, we were able to win the Charlotte race. It was my first win, his first time winning at Charlotte, and it was just such an emotional day. I remember I did not sleep at all Sunday night after winning the race. It was the best day of my life, and it's tied with winning the championship there too. And then winning that race in Charlotte really escalated and kind of put me on the path that led me down to where I finished my career in Top Alcohol Dragster, where Charlotte became the most successful race for me to compete at, and it became the race where NGK Spark Plugs was the title sponsor for, which was also my sponsor for the last 3 years.
That is just so cool. That is just, I remember that too. And I remember how emotional you were. And I was just like hugging your mom and dad at the starting line. I'm like, oh my God, I love watching you go from, like everything from your career and then winning and then not one, but 2 championships. That is crazy successful good.
Yeah, winning both of the championships is just, it's hard enough to win one championship. And then to do it the next year right after that is just incredible. There's not many racers out there that can repeat that success. And I think a lot of that, it doesn't have to do with the drivers. I think it's because the crew chief and the teams are always trying new stuff on the cars. They're always tweaking parts and trying to, just see what works to get just like a thousandth of a second faster onto the track. And so you'll see like Joey Severance, for example, won the championship, 4 years in a row, and then now has struggled and he hasn't won a race in some time. And it's because they're just constantly trying new things and just looking for that one combination that's going to be the perfect amount to get more power going down the track. And thankfully, we've been able to figure it out for the past couple of years, but it took a long time to get to this point. I remember there was a 3-year period where my dad did not win a single race.
No kidding.
I don't even know if he even made it to the final round during those couple of years. And we were in a very low spot. I remember it was when I was in college, and so I could not help out as much because I was busy doing my own thing. But you just got to keep trying and testing new things, so that way when it does finally all click together, then you got a really good combination, and then you're able to take that and then just, again, keep trying new things and testing it out, and then hopefully it gets faster and faster.
Just like in life, you just got to keep trying things. You got to try new things.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, and so now you've got 2 championships. You've retired at a young age, but here's the best part. So now you have your second career, your second half of your career, I call it, and you are doing so much to help racers. I mean, you are sharing your knowledge of what you know and you've learned, because you've learned a lot, and now you're using that to help other racers. Tell me about your new business.
Yes, so it's just crazy, to think that I'm officially retired race car driver now, which when I started out 5 years ago, I didn't know what my path was going to look like, but I knew eventually I would have to get out of the seat because I knew I wanted to start a family. And, I just want people to realize, especially the young female racers out there, that there is still a life outside of racing. And, everyone makes a transition, and it looks different for everybody else, whether it's motherhood or maybe it's doing a different role on your team or joining a different team. That transition and role can look different for everybody. But for me, it was making the decision to step away from the car, and I just happened to get pregnant, and so now we are expecting our first child in a couple of weeks now, which is absolutely crazy. But with that, I knew that 2020 was going to be my last season because we were engaged, we were planning a wedding. We were actually supposed to get married in April last year, but then COVID happened. And so I tried so hard to get married on our original date, even though everything was shut down. They let us get the tuxes early. I was going to try and get my dress early. I was trying to find a food truck that we could use and just have it in my parents' backyard. And we, our photographer and videographer was able to come out, and I could reschedule them and DJ and all this stuff. Seriously, the only thing that stopped us from getting married was the fact that the courthouse closed. And I could not go and get the marriage license, which is really the only thing that you need.
Oh, yes, the one thing.
Yeah, so I had all this time off last year because of COVID. We're just hanging out at home. And funny story, actually, we didn't even have our cars at home with us. So our truck and trailer we were down in Gainesville for the Gator Nationals when quarantine really started and everything shut down. So we were there. I flew in Wednesday night, and then Thursday we were setting up the pits. Thursday they were running the sportsman eliminations, and Alan Reithern on the announcer says, "Hey, we've got to stop the race immediately. We're going to finish eliminations for the sportsman guys that have already started, but you have to leave the track tonight or the next day. You guys have to get out of here." So me and my dad flew home, and then our crew guy took the truck and trailer to Texas where he lived. And then that's because our next planned race at that time was Dallas. We just assumed it was just going to be a short period of time, and then we would just come into Dallas for our next race. Well, little did we know that was not the case. And it was about 2 months before he could physically leave the state of Texas and cross the border to come up to Kansas because of COVID and how strict all the quarantine rules were and everything at that time. So we were sitting at home. We didn't even have cars to work on. We're all, bored out of our mind. And that's really when I sat down and I was like, okay, what am I going to do next year? Because I already told our sponsors and told my family and our team that this was going to be my last year. I didn't quite know what I was going to do instead. So I've been really heavily involved in social media and the marketing side of it, just working on everything for our team. And then I did a little bit of freelance work, like hero cards and a little bit of website stuff for other teams. But a lot of the teams and stuff were coming to me and asking me about like sponsorship and social media questions. And I was like, maybe I can just take what I know. Not that I'm an expert or anything, but I just happen to spend a lot of time on social media. Take what I know and turn it into a program that can help people out. So I had all this time on my hands. I did a lot of research online about online courses, and I was taking online courses anyways to study like digital marketing. So I created my own last year, and it's called Driven by Social, and it just blew up. So there's all different types of training modules that are inside of it that has everything that a race car driver or a team needs to know about social media. And from there, I've actually created a second program called Fueled and Funded, where that one is just specifically about sponsorships. So like how to make a marketing deck, what to include in a sponsorship proposal, like how to reach a company to approach them about sponsorships and stuff like that. So I just have absolutely loved this new season of my life where I'm more of like an educator and a coach and just helping people out, because, you know, it took me a long time to learn because there really was no guidance for me. There really wasn't anything that's like specific for race car drivers. And so I was like,
they don't have a class on that.
Like this, and why not me? Why can't I be that person to create it? So I did that, and I love it now. And so I'm very happy to say that Driven by Social is open right now for enrollment, and it closes on July 31st. So, and Nikki, I do have a coupon code for any of your listeners that would like to enroll into it. So if you do the coupon code Women Take the Wheel, which is just all one word, if you go to my website and click on Driven by Social, it'll take you to the checkout page. Use the coupon code Women Take the Wheel. They can get 15% off the program today.
That is awesome, because I want to test you too. So like I work with Joe Morrison, who drives a Top Fuel dragster, and he is one of your pupils, students, right? And he has learned so much from you. We have talked about it, and he has done, I mean, he's a great show for you because he's gotten several sponsors this year, Seaforce Water, Pengrade, and all that. And he is one of your students who has really used the program, and you've done a wonderful job with him. And he's just told me how much he's learned from you. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no, well, I have to say thank you, because that time when I worked with you and Ryan and Jeff and Brian and Todd and all them at Ford Sports Marketing, like that taught me so much about sponsorships, and you were really the one that was all about the social media over there. So like that really set me on the path that I am today. So I got to say thank you to you, Nikki.
Oh, thank you so much. And I remember too, because you actually helped edit Jeff Ren's when they did the shootout, the Grind Boss. When we did our Traction shootout video, you shot that. And I remember editing and like, oh, this is so much fun. Both you and I were like, we should do this more for social media.
Yeah.
And you put out such great videos. I mean, because at the end here, we're going to get all of her social medias to follow her, because one of my favorites is her Instagram, and she does really great Instagram videos and stories and, you know, just engaging stuff. She is the real deal. I mean, her website and everything is just, I looked at it and I'm just like, this is so amazing. And you do such great stuff. And you're so great this year. I see you down on the line, you know, with your GoPro shooting video of your sister and Julie and, oh, no. Well, thank you. Like I said, we learned together is what I like to say.
Yeah. No, I love working next to you and all the other females that are out there doing media for other teams. You know, I'm just kind of helping out like a team or two here and there, but you guys that are taking on like 5-10 teams a weekend, it's crazy. Yeah, you know, it's just so much fun to be able to be on the other side of racing now, being, you know, instead of it being me on the track, I get to stay on the starting line and watch the celebration with the crew, and I get to document that. And that's one of the things that I've missed the most, because when my dad was driving, I was, taking the pictures and doing the videos for him and got to be a part of those special moments. But when you're driving and you're on the opposite end of the racetrack, you miss that stuff. You only get to see it like on TV, or someone else gets a picture or video of it. So I love being on, both ends of the racing world. And I'm really enjoying this new season where I'm at right now. And, a lot of people ask me if I miss racing, if I want to come back to it. And my answer right now is no. I'm enjoying my downtime. I'm enjoying being at home, actually, and not traveling as much, and getting our house ready for our baby coming in a couple of weeks. And this all new exciting journey that we're about to embark on together.
Yeah. And once again, because you're like me, you can't stop working. You're not only doing your business and doing all this stuff, you're renovating your home too. Because I followed that whole process too. You don't do like slow for
don't
you.
Even get me started. That has been years.
What cracks me up is slow for you and me is a different definition from everybody else's slow. So I love that.
Yeah.
So what advice, I always love to ask this, what advice do you have for other women out there in the business, be it drivers or somebody who wants to do like you do, social media? What advice would you give to them?
The biggest piece of advice I would give someone is to always try new things, to really be diverse, whether it is on the track or off the track. So kind of like what we talked about, like going through college, I was working in different departments, I was doing different internships, getting all of this different experience in other industries really helped make me a well-rounded person for when I was able to, and when I was ready to take that step to be a professional race car driver. There is so much that you need to know inside of racing, but there's still so much that you can learn outside of racing, no matter if it's other hobbies or other sports, or if you want to try like different skills. Always, don't be afraid to try something new and be diverse, because that's also going to help you when you are approaching sponsors. And, a lot of racing sponsorships are outside of racing. So like, for example, working with Ryan, like they do a lot with Menards. And so if you're able to have a connection with a company that's maybe like in retail, or let's just say like the food industry, because they do a lot with that, that's going to help you be so much different when you are on the track and help bring more attention to you. So always do stuff that can set yourself apart from the competition, and just be diverse. So that way, not only are you just learning new skills that will be helpful for you off the track, but also when you are ready to make that transition to a different phase, it can help you with that as well.
Be a Swiss Army knife. That's what I always say. And where can you have, like I said, because you are social media, tell everybody where they can find you at on Facebook, Instagram, website, Twitter. Where can everybody find you? And do you have TikTok too? Yes, you can find me everywhere at meganmeyer.racing. So that's Instagram, Facebook, and my website, meganmeyer.racing. And then for Driven by Social, again, if you just go to my website, meganmeyer.racing/Driven by Social, there you can learn all about the program. It closes July 31st. And the coupon code to save 15% off is Women Take the Wheel. Perfect. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really enjoyed having you on the show and reliving some memories I totally forgot about. And like I said, I just love to see how much you've grown and the champion you become, and how you switched around. You're helping other drivers now. It's just amazing. So we'll expect more big things from you. Let's just say that. And soon we'll have another little linger. I'm so excited for you to have your baby.
Yes. Oh my gosh. We are so excited, but we are not ready yet. I mean, there's still so much left to do, but thank you so much for having me on, Nikki. I really appreciate this. And yes, again, going through memory lane and really looking back at those times working together. That really, it's really cool to look back now and see how that really impacted my life.
Oh, thank you. I'd love to hear stuff like that. Well, it's great talking to you. Well, have a great day. Thank you again for listening. I'm Nikki Clark, and this is Women Take the Wheel. Be sure to connect and follow on Facebook when you search for Women Take the Wheel podcast. And be sure to follow and subscribe to this podcast right now on the All Indiana Podcast Network.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network,
This is Women Take the Wheel.
with Nikki Clark. Follow and subscribe to this podcast now and discover even more great podcasts on the All Indiana Podcast Network. Online at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.
AllIndianaPodcastNetwork.com.